Gambari is a Fulani prince whose father stole our sacred Oduduwa land, Fani Kayode reveals. A former aviation minister, Fani Kayode, has described Professor Ibrahim Agbola Gambari as a Fulani prince whose forefathers stole the crown by killing a ruler of the ancient Oyo Empire. In a scattering article titled "Enter the President's New Chief of Staff," Fani Kayode wrote, "It is for this reason that they are often referred to by the sons and daughter of Oduduwa as Mesu Jamba, meaning a shifty, unreliable, and treacherous. To add to that, the saying goes, beware of the Gambaris and the descendants of Alimi. 200 years ago, the Are Kakanfo of the ancient Oyo Empire and the self-proclaimed Oba of Ilorin, Are Afonja, rebelled against the Alaafin of Oyo and entered into a military alliance with a Fulani advisor, sorcerer and Masosra by the name of Alimi. Predictably, Alimi betrayed him and he ended up being tortured, dethroned, and murdered. Not only did Alimi and his Fulani warriors kill him, but they also murdered all his sons in the most cruel and barbaric fashion. Alimi and his family took the throne for themselves and consequently the Oyo Empire, and by extension the Oduduwa nation lost Ilorin to the Fulani and to the sons of Usman Danfodio. Ever since that day, a Fulani emir from Alimi's Gambari family and lineage, armed with a flag and staff of authority from the Sultan of Sokoto, has ruled Ilorin. There is no gainsaying the fact that the Gambaris are trusted servants and bonded slaves of the Sokoto Caliphate. They see themselves as the guardians, protectors, and defenders of the Caliphate's southern border, and they serve and protect its traditions, its faith, and its political and economic interests. This has been the case for the last 200 years. It is for these reasons that they are often referred to by the sons and daughters of Oduduwa as Mesu Jamba, meaning a shifty, unreliable, and treacherous. To add to that, the saying goes, beware of the Gambaris and the descendant of Alimi. Enter Professor Ibrahim Agbola Gambari, Buhari's new Chief of Staff and Nigeria's former representative at the United Nations. Contrary to popular belief that despite his second name, Agbola, this man is not a son of the Southwest or an Oduduwa, but a Fulani prince from the royal house in Ilorin. He is a descendant of Alimi. He is a Gambari, and to cap it all, his brother, Emir Ibrahim Kolapo Sulu Gambari, is the present Emir of Ilorin. His forefathers stole our sacred Oduduwa's land, took our throne, carved up and divided our empire, enslaved our people, and have persecuted our leaders in Ilorin for the last 200 years, denying them of the most basic liberties and rights. And worst of all, they have done this with the full blessing and support of the Sokoto Caliphate and the Sultan of Sokoto. With the appointment of Gambari as the President Chief of Staff for the first time in our history, we have a Fulani President and a Fulani Chief of Staff, both serving a Fulani government with a Fulani agenda. This has never happened before, and very soon the result will be self-evident. To make matter worse, Gambari himself a headliner, and he was Buhari's foreign minister in 1984 when the latter was military head of state. He served a tyrant and a dictator before, and he is serving a tyrant and a dictator again. And he served not just any tyrant and dictator, but Nigerian greatest military tyrant and dictator. And now he is set to serve Nigerian greatest civilian tyrant and dictator. Unlike his predecessor in office, the late Abakari, who was a Shua Arab, Gambari is a Fulani. His only interest throughout his disgusting career as a career diplomat was to do nothing but further and protect the interests and hegemonic agenda of caliphates in Nigeria, and to justify and rationalize its greed, brutality, barbarity, and excesses before the civilized world in various international fora. Now he has come to help establish and entrench Buhari's Islamization and Fulanization agenda. We welcome him and we will engage him in battle. Abakari has gone. A headline Islamic fundamentalist and Fulani irredentist has now taken over his job. Nigerians will see the difference. For those of us that have been in struggle to liberate our people from the tyranny of Buhari for the last 5 years, it is game on and back to the trenches. The ceasefire is over and the war against ethnic and religious bondage and against injustice, subjugation, domination, nepotism, servitude, and slavery has started again. May the best man win. Hmm. Wow, the game has just begun. What's a discovery? What's a research? I love this. You see, one thing I love Fani Kayode for is he doesn't just speak, he speaks facts. And before he speaks, he makes and carry out solid research concerning anything he's speaking out. You can see, you can imagine the lineage of this young man, of this professor, the new chief of staff to the president. No wonder, you can imagine, to Nigerians, he's truly a Westerner, but unknown to many Nigerians that the man is a fucking Fulani. Is uh, the son, the grandson of the Fulanis, just bearing the name as a cover. You can imagine. No wonder it took Buhari time to make his selections. Unknown to us that he's actually looking for a way to deceive the country and bring in another Fulani as a chief of staff. He's not just a Fulani, but he is someone that have served him before during his earlier uh, during his earlier throne as head of state to Nigeria. You can imagine. It means that this man has been in government for years, and it means that they both have together ruled Nigeria before, and now they are coming again to rule the country. The, the, the war has truly begun. Fani Kayode has truly given the right definition You can imagine, see how far the President Muhammad Buhari can go. Nigeria, we really need to pray. We really need to pray. So, my viewers, what is your own comment concerning this that have just been said? Please don't forget to leave them behind. Click on the subscription buttons as well as bell button to receive more updates. Thank you.